we are Below Par, myself, Joe, and Joe. Today we're going to talk to you about the flop shot, the lob shot.
So, the flop shot then is one that strikes fear in many golfers. It's something that you get faced with when you're on the golf course and immediately there is panic. And really, we're here to show you today that you don't need to panic when you have the correct technique. This is a shot that I think both of us have had to face in tournament golf. Both of us will have feared at some point, will have been in your shoes with your handicap. However, we found a way to play the shot, practiced it, which has then really helped our ability to perform it when out on the golf course. So we're faced with what could be the trickiest shot a golfer could face in a round of golf. What we've got here is we have a bunker going up towards a flag, and the flag is tightly tucked into the green and we're quite close to the bunker. What this means is we have to take this ball the aerial route and get the ball to stop very quickly at the other end. Now this means when we're playing the shot, we need lots of loft. So Joe, what club have you brought with you?
Got my 58 degree.
And that is the most lofted wedge, I believe, that you carry in your bag. So there's no point trying to play this with a 50 degree or a pitching wedge. You need plenty of loft on this, and we need to commit to this shot. And with the right technique, which I'm going to show you now, this will be really easy and you'll be nailing it every time. So then Joe, I hate to put you in the hot spot, but we've got a tough shot here. We've got the bunker, this middle pin here tucked in really close. How confident do you feel?
Not really confident at all.
Okay.
This is something that I tend to overcomplicate, so maybe going through a simple technique will help.
Perfect, well that's exactly what we're here to do today. So I see a lot of people getting the fundamentals wrong in this shot, and that causes so many issues when it comes to the result. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through the fundamentals of what essentially creates a flop shot, help you understand why we do certain things, and what we're going to do then is hit a few shots and hopefully improve the overall technique and hit it closer. That's the goal, isn't it? So Joe, so first off, let's get you in a nice normal sort of chipping setup with a slightly wider stance. So what I mean by that is we're going to see the feet are relatively square, left foot might be ever so slightly withdrawn. We're going to match the hips as well, because what we're doing is pre-setting imaginary impact position because there's not enough momentum in the swing to get that left hip out of the way. So we're just pre-setting it, which you can see here, which Joe is doing really nicely. And what we're going to do now is we're going to move the ball position forward. So we're trying to use the loft of the club, allowing the club to slide under the ball. And as a consequence, the ball has to be forward of middle. Now essentially the next move now is what fumbles a lot of golfers, is we start to open the club face. Now when we open the club face, yes, we add loft, however the club also points to the right. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the hand back towards your right pocket. There. What this does is squares the club face. Now we'll show this later on where we show you when we open the face how face plane tilt affects the loft of the golf club and what it does to the direction of where the loft faces. We'll talk you through that. So Joe, let's get you in this position here. So ball position now is slightly forward, which is perfect. We've got the hands which have opened the golf club, and equally then the hands are sitting back towards his right leg. Now what I'm going to ask Joe to do now is really feel like he's using the bounce, which we explained in one of our earlier videos, and he's going to allow the club to simply slide under the ball through towards the target. So in fairness, popped up really well.
Yeah.
For me, could still do with a slightly longer swing. So like when we were discussing in the pitch shot, I'd like to see you at least get to an L position, because in fairness, the harder you hit one of these shots, just the higher it goes. It doesn't tend to go much further, so you can afford to put a bit more power in there. So good, that's it, opening the face, hands go back, up to an L position. Well done. And you can see there how actually, although we've gone from half a hinge to a full hinge, the difference to the other end is about 2 yards. Let's have a look from face on. Let's have a look at that action, and we'll chat a little bit about the face plane tilt as well. So as you can see, Joe here is set up in a normal wedge shot position, so either a pitch shot sort of setup. What we're going to do now is we're going to move the ball position forward in Joe's stance. We're then going to open the face of the golf club. We're then also going to feel like the hands now drop back behind the club head. So not just does this expose the bounce to help you stop digging and hitting that fat shot, but it's also going to help us actually allow plenty of loft on that golf club. So from there, Joe, up to an L position. Good, that's it, and then you're going to allow that club head to release back through the ball again. Let's give it a go. Awesome. And what I love there is that ball is literally one bounce to stop the other end, loads of height, and equally not much interaction with the turf, which is fab.
Yep.
Very good. How do you feel now? If you were hitting that shot out on the course, how would you feel?
Well, it's a simple process, isn't it? I take what would normally be a pitching action. We recognise the ball needs to go higher, so we know about opening the club face. I now know how to readdress the club face alignment to keep that ball going straight where I want it to go, and simply for a little bit more height and to help the club whip underneath the golf ball, we move it forward. So simple process.
Good. And what I love there as well is the results that Joe has hit. Equally, as Joe said at the beginning, he perhaps wasn't the most confident over this shot. The fact that every single shot he's hit made it over the bunker and land on the green, that really is your goal from this position. That's going to stop those doubles and triples on your scorecard and help you lower your handicap.